What if this is a big mistake?
That was the only thought running through my mind as I waited to board my flight. I had just quit my corporate job with no idea what came next. There was no turning back now. I was excited but also terrified. Today marks 1 year since I made that leap of faith. A lot has changed over the past year, some better than expected, others much harder. Let me take you back to where it all started. Back in Singapore, I was working a corporate job, a 9 to 5. It was a stable career, it paid well, but I felt like I was missing something. I was tired all the time, my health wasn't that great, I didn't like the politics in the office, and maybe I was a little burnt out. So I walked away. I thought moving countries would change my life, but at that point in time, what I didn't realize is that the biggest change happens not on the outside, it actually happens inside. For years, I was the responsible one. I was the reliable one. I planned almost everything. But this time around, I kind of threw caution to the wind. Couldn't plan that much. So I booked a one-way ticket to Thailand and I booked 5 days in a Airbnb. And then I had cartons, right? I packed my whole house and I had cartons being shipped to Thailand to a pseudo address. So I basically have 5 days to look for an apartment for longer term stay for like 6 months or 12 months. And when I told my colleague this, right, they were like, are you crazy? Yeah. They couldn't believe that, somebody can actually do that. They were like, that's not something I can do, right? Like, how can you be certain? Isn't it risky to do so? What if you cannot find the apartment you want? Right. But in life, you can't have that much certainty. I think certainty is a little bit like an illusion. It's not real. It gives you a sense of security, but it's not real. Like what in life is certain? Nothing. That was what I realized. And I think over the past year, I have learned to embrace uncertainty, especially in a foreign country. You learn to trust yourself. The opposite of fear is not certainty. It is trust. Trust in yourself. Trust that you can actually deal with it. With that trust, you're secure. And with that sense of security, even luxury looks different. I used to think luxury means spending lots of money on the fancy stuff, like, going on business class, on flights, going on 5-star hotel vacations, and like, splurging on parties. Now looking back, I think those are misery tax. Because I was leading a life that I felt miserable in. I thought I wanted to reward myself. Like when I have a hard day at work, lots of gossip in the office. I feel like I wanted to escape. And to do so, you get like some sort of therapy, retail therapy or alcohol therapy, whatever it is, right? So I've probably bought a lot of things that I don't need just to make myself feel better. So that's the miserable text lah, the misery text. And now I don't feel like there is a need for that. I feel happy, like I don't need to impress anybody that I don't care about. I feel like the ultimate luxury is time, being able to do things very leisurely. That is the ultimate freedom. I have the time freedom. I am able to do what I want, whenever I want it, with people I want to actually do it with. It is to me the ultimate luxury. So it's no longer about the material stuff. Stuff is just stuff. A lot of people think slow and leisurely means boring, and sometimes people think, busy and stress is exciting. I think sometimes people are confused. What do you think? I think being able to slow down over the past year made me realize that some of these ideas might not be true. I thought slowing down would be easy. After all, I've been dreaming about it for years. But actually, it's not. In the beginning, I felt restless, almost guilty for not being productive. It's like my body left the corporate life in Singapore, but my mind is still there. But recently, I went on a meditation retreat, a 10 days meditation retreat. No talking, no phone, no distractions. And that is when I actually learned to be just in the present moment, not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, just being with myself, cherishing each and every moment. I realized I spent so many years planning for the future that I kind of forgot how to live in the present. Slowing down didn't give me a better life. It just made me notice the one that I was already living. So after 1 year, do I regret leaving Singapore? I think the answer is not a straightforward yes or no. There were definitely moments where I questioned myself. In March or April during the burning season, the skies in Chiang Mai were so grey and it was quite gloomy. I felt a little bit off on some days. And then there were also days where I missed the efficiency of Singapore. In Thailand, there's a little bit more bureaucracy. Things can maybe take a longer time to get done. So there were times and moments like this. But regret isn't about whether something is tough. It's about whether I would still do it again, knowing what I know now. And for me, I think I wouldn't change a thing. Every experience, every challenge gave me new perspective, gave me new insights, taught me something. If I hadn't left Singapore, I'd probably still be wondering what if. And I think that is probably a bigger regret. Now that 1 year has passed, I think the journey is definitely not yet over. In fact, it has just begun. Now that I feel more settled, I want to keep exploring. I want to go on new adventures. I want to continue to share my journey with you. Not just what it's like to live in Thailand, but what it's like to build a life with intention.